Hey, everybody. Good evening. James Moffett coming to you live from Goose Creek, South Carolina. It's January the 6th, 2026. And I want to let you know that I wanted to do a 30-day YouTube video challenge, and I've already kind of blown it. And instead of fretting about it or stressing out over it, I'm just going to keep going. I work a full-time job, and I've got 3 podcasts, and I just there's not much time left over at the end of the day. And sometimes I come home and I have brain fry. I do IT support during the day for the VA, Veterans Administration. And that's all I do all day is for 8 hours anyway. I solve technical problems. So I will try to do as many videos as I can, but I'm not going to promise to do one every day because that's just not feasible. It may turn out that I do one a week instead of like I do my podcasts. I release a podcast episode every Friday morning at 8 a.m. And so I will at very least that's what I'll do for my YouTube videos. And I'm working on trying to get a thumbnail, an attractive, relevant thumbnail for my YouTube channel for my personal videos. So I'm going to try a couple out. Let me know which one you like. I've got one on there that's got a red background and a microphone, which I kind of like. Then I'll have one that's got my ugly mug on it with James Moffett YouTube channel, and I'm gonna play around with it, try different variations, and whichever one gets more votes, then that'll be the one I use. All right. So today was a weird day, to say the least. Coffee provided by my wife, Katie. Oh, what is this? This is a commemorative. Oh, this is a Desert Shield. This is a Desert Shield cup. I don't know if you can see it or not. Got it where? Troy McNair? Okay. Yeah, we had a friend of ours that was there in the Air Force, and I guess that was a souvenir cup that he gave me way back when. I had forgotten all about it. But that's why I have Katie, because she's a human calendar. She remembers dates and times and on events, and I don't get anywhere near as close as accurate as she does. So anyway, yeah, I had a weird day today. Did I tell you that? It was really strange. So anyway, let's another thing I was going to tell you, another kind of an announcement I have. I'm going to have a friend of mine that is a fellow podcast host that was on actually, I think I was a guest on his podcast, and his name's Mark, and he has agreed to co-host a faith-based YouTube video that I want to do. I don't know, once a month, once every 2 weeks. We haven't really ironed out all of those details, but I've shared my testimony with everybody. And so one of the topics that I want to touch on is who God is, faith in God, the importance of having faith, and forgiveness and love and mercy and all of those things. I want to Mark and I to talk about those things with you, the Bible, different types of concordances. We'll probably talk about the different versions of the Bible, the different translations like King James English and the NIV, New International Version. And I don't know, there's probably 6 to 10 different versions or translations that are out there. And everybody has their own preference. Like I grew up with King James English, and I can read King James English just like you can read the NIV. But I learned a long time ago that when you're teaching the Bible, doing Bible studies, what have you, it's good to use the NIV because it uses everyday language. And it's everyday language, or I should say everyday English. For those of us that are English speaking, I have to realize that there are more countries that speak other languages, and I know that the Bible has been translated into more languages than just English. But anyhow, I like using the NIV because it uses everyday English and it's easier for people to understand. So there. We'll talk more about that on our YouTube videos that are coming up this year. Like I said, maybe we'll do one video on faith once a month, or, depending on our schedules, maybe we'll do one like one every 2 weeks or something. Again, in the comments, engage with me and let me know. Let me know what you would like. Let me know what you would like me to talk about, and I'll do my best to accommodate you. So tonight, I want to talk about something called avoid the noise. Well, what does that mean? That means that we are surrounded by noise, not only physical noise that we can hear with our ears. There's a lot of noise pollution. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean, like when I go to work and I park in the parking lot, the building and the property is like right on West Montague Avenue, and there's lots and lots of cars going back and forth. Even at 6:45 in the morning, there's tons of traffic. So you got that noise. Then you have aircraft going over. We're like on the flight path to Charleston International Airport. So there are all manner of aircraft that go overhead, and they're very low because they're coming in for a landing. And that's your senses, right? You got smell, you got taste, you got hearing, and you got sight and sound. There's a lot of sound pollution over by where I work. Now, if you live out in the country, you're not going to have the anywhere near the sound pollution that you have if you're living in the city. Well, we live in the city. We don't live out in the country. So we have lots of sound pollution, a lot of light pollution. If you like to take photographs and you're into photography like I am, if you want to do astrophotography or taking pictures of the moon and stars, it's very difficult to do that in the city because there's a lot of light pollution, street lights and things like that. So you have to go somewhere that there's not a lot of street lights so that when you're taking pictures, you get a better shot because you don't have the residue or the overflow of the light coming into your camera lens. Hey, it's something I could talk about is photography as well. Let me know if you're interested in that. Anyway, one of the other things that I think about when it comes to noise is just our environment, the things that we see, the things that we hear, but also our technology noise. Noise as in just the constant blabbering and driveling about this, that, and another. So noise is social media noise. If you're on Facebook, if you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, you're on Snapchat, you're on Pinterest, you're on any of those social media apps that you're on, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of people talking like me. There's a lot of people that are playing music and dancing. There's a lot of people that are talking about politics and religion and global economy and you name it. There's hundreds of topics that people get on the internet, get on social media, and talk about it. So there's that noise. And I think that it's good for me personally, I like to avoid the noise. I like to limit how much noise that I expose myself to. Not only physical noise, but noise on social media and the TV. Like I watch NBC Nightly News maybe once or twice a week because I like to see all of the updated news reports from here in the United States and everywhere else. And unfortunately, most of NBC Nightly News focuses on plane crashes and people getting killed and political stuff like the Venezuelan president being arrested by the American DEA. And some people are like, you just kidnapped him. You just out and out kidnapped him. And so everybody's got their opinion, right, about what happened and why it happened and whether it was legal or not. The Democrats are in an uproar. Some of the Republicans are in an uproar, and they want answers. They want President Trump to be pulled in front of Congress and for him to answer for his crimes. So anyway, there's all of that, and I try to filter all of that out and not listen to a whole lot of it. And it's damn near impossible to do that. You almost have to just not turn your computer on or watch TV or listen to the radio because it's everywhere. The noise is everywhere. And so I think it's important that we find peace in the middle of the storm. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So as we rounded the corner on the end of 2025, we were subtly reminded about New Year's resolutions. I think I made a comment about how I don't have any New Year's resolutions. And the reason is, well, it wasn't a New Year's resolution, but I wanted to do a YouTube 30-day challenge and I've already missed it by a day. And it could be worse than that, but I'm just going to move forward and do the best I can with what I have. So it is almost an expectation that we come up with resolutions, New Year's resolutions, and maybe good goals, but are they obtainable? Sometimes we set ourselves up for failure because we come up with resolutions or changes to our life that we want to make. And they are probably good things for our lives and things that we want to do, but they might be a little far-fetched, or they may not be obtainable, or they may not be realistic. Our goals need to be realistic. It's like Denzel Washington coined the phrase in his Equalizer movies. Baby steps. No, I'm sorry, not baby steps. That's what I say. Progress, not perfection. That's what he likes to say. Progress, not perfection. So we should set goals that allow us to make progress, but we shouldn't have an expectation. We shouldn't place an expectation of perfection on our lives, right? So these goals should be small, they should be obtainable, and we should have an action plan, or we should know baby steps. We should know what baby steps that we can make to make the goal obtainable. That way, we're not setting ourselves up for failure. We don't make ourselves depressed over it, or anxious, or angry, or think we're losers because we can't keep our own promises. We don't need to do that. We need to make our goals obtainable. So, as I've told you before, I've never been good with New Year's resolutions. Here are some that I thought about. Now, these are not resolutions, they're goals. The first one's be nicer to myself. Learn how to love myself and stop focusing on my failures and move forward. We are our own worst enemy. Let's take, for instance, losing weight. A lot of people have a weight issue. Be nicer to yourself. Let's like I was talking about the weight loss uh dilemma. A lot of people, like myself, fight with obesity. And I mean, I've been fighting obesity for 10, 15, 20 years maybe. And being overweight is not good. Everybody, I think we can all agree that being overweight, whether it's 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 15, 20, 30, 40. I lost 80 pounds in about 2 years. And that was a good thing. And I need to lose another 50 pounds. So I'm hoping in 2026 that I can meet that goal. But I need to be nicer to myself. And I'm telling you, but I'm just using weight loss as an example. And I can't tell you, as I worked through the steps to lose weight, some days were better than others. And I always beat myself up. I'm always beating myself up for not being quote unquote perfect. Progress, not perfection. So anyway, we are our own worst enemy. Be nicer to yourself. Don't beat yourself up, because the world itself and the people in it, they enjoy talking crap about you, talking crap about me, right? So be nice to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Be kind. Another goal that I think I need to have is to be a better human. In other words, I need to add value to my environment. Be sensitive to what other people are going through. And when I say be a better human, that includes when people can hear me or not. And one of my problems is when I'm in the car. I don't know what it is about a human being. When you get in your car or your truck or your SUV and you strap on that seatbelt and you have the ability to roam around planet Earth where you live, you are interacting with other humans. And you know what I'm talking about. You just you turn into some kind of crazed monster. You just sometimes you let a curse word or two slip. I know that I've got a couple of choice curse words that my wife absolutely hates, and I try to be good, and I try not to say those things. But when I'm driving, that is my Achilles heel for about what kind of human I am. And you should I should just be a better human, be nicer, be kinder, and be sensitive to what other people are going through. We don't know what other people are going through. Does that make sense? I mean, we see people in our everyday travels, whether it's work, whether it's school, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's going to the post office. You could be at the Walmart shopping for groceries. You could be at Target buying whatever it is you need to buy, and you interact with or see, or in some cases, avoid other humans. And we have a choice. We have to make a choice to be nice, like retail workers. I've never been a retail worker, but I've dealt with the general public. I work in security, and retail workers will tell you that some humans are just not nice. They can just get downright ugly and pushy and selfish and self-centered, obnoxious, overbearing. Wow, people just get so focused on their little world, in their little world, and they forget that there are other humans around and that they've got feelings just like we do. I think that's why the Bible says that we should treat other people the way we want to be treated. Love one another, right? And so just be aware, as I need to be aware, that there are other people around me and that I can either leave them with a positive impression or I can leave them with a negative impression. They can either think, God, that guy's a jerk, or they might say something like, wow, he was really nice to me. And how people feel about themselves and their environment is directly related to people in their environment. And we can't do anything about excessive sound noise or anything like that in our environments. We're all subjected to that, but we can determine how we come across to others. We can determine how we make those people feel after their interaction with us. So be a better human. Oh, the next one's right up my alley. And excuse me, I shouldn't do that, but I had to do that. Quit being a grouchy old man. Right, honey? Huh. Katie and I have been married 35 years, and she knows what I'm talking about when I say quit being a grouchy old man. Quit being a grouchy old man when you're driving me to school, honey. Fill in the blank. Quit being a grouchy old man when. Go ahead. You can say it. Katie said all the time. Quit being a grouchy old man all the time. Well, there you have it. Straight from the mouth of babes. The older I get, the frumpier I seem to be. I need to enjoy life more. I need to quit stressing out over stuff I have no control over, which I think sometimes that's the reason why I'm a little frumpy, a little grouchy, is that I'm internalizing stressors and things that are happening to me and around me, and it just makes me an old grouch bucket. And I need to try to quit being a grouchy old man. Be more optimistic about things. What is my outlook on life in general? Is it negative or is it positive? We can choose how we perceive life. Are we optimists or are we pessimists? What does an optimist do? An optimist is full of hope. An optimist sees the glass half full and not half empty. How do we perceive life? While I'm thinking about it, my AirTags came in today, and Katie has her new telephone, and I put an AirTag on the back of her phone, and I configured it on my iPhone so that if she happens to misplace it again, I'll be able to track that thing down. Woohoo! Yay! Yeah. What's my outlook on life in general? We can choose how to perceive life. Stop consuming negative input. I think that goes hand in hand with not being a grouchy old man. I need to focus on positive things. Watch positive things on TV. Listen to positive things. Anyway, be more optimistic about things. Quit being judgmental. Leave well enough alone. Stop making snap judgment about things and people. So when you meet somebody for the first time, what do we do? What is our habit? For me, and I think most of us will agree that you observe the person from the head down to the toe. You see how they're dressed. You see if do they appear to be overweight? Are they skinny? What's color of their skin? How do they smell? How do they sound? We take all of this in like within seconds. And in our minds, we make a snap judgment about them. And I think a lot of times when we make snap judgments about people, we're being really unfair to them. I'll say that again. We shouldn't judge fellow human beings. We should leave well enough alone and give people an opportunity to demonstrate what kind of human they are. They can be kind, they can be ugly. Sometimes you have to wait until you interact with them some and get your impression from that. Don't make snap judgments about people by the way that they look or sound. Does it make sense? I need to quit being judgmental. Leave well enough alone. Stop making snap judgments about things and people. Be better at following my diet. Ooh, I could talk about that for a year. I'm a type 2 diabetic and I have to consume less sugar. I have to be intentional. Remember, I told you I lost 80 pounds. How did I do that? Well, losing weight is 10% exercise. I know you're not going to agree with this. Losing weight is 10% exercise, getting off your rear end, getting off the recliner, getting off the couch, and just walking around the neighborhood. Just anything that you can do. Go swimming, go walking. Depending on your physical condition, you might not be able to go to the gym and work out. And 2 years ago, well, 3 years ago now, I went to Planet Fitness 4 or 5 times a week and I worked out. I got on the elliptical trainer for well, actually, it was a treadmill. I got on the treadmill for like 30 minutes. Then I got on the elliptical trainer for like 10 or 15 minutes. And then I went on the weight circuit. And I feel great. And what did I decide? What did I think? What was my thought process? Well, I'm working out and burning all these calories so I can just eat any way I want to. That was a huge mistake. I can't eat cheeseburgers and fries all the time. When I worked for Roper Hospital, they had a free program for diabetics in that they paid for all your insulin, they paid for your medication, they paid for everything. But you had to, their expectation and requirement was that you had to go to every 6 months. You had to go to a class to where you listen to a dietitian and you listen to a diabetes nurse. And I listened to them for about 30 minutes. They talked about portion control. You're only supposed to eat about this much, the size of your fist. That's all you're supposed to eat. You're not supposed to eat white things, rice, pasta, ice cream, sugar, anything that's got sugar in it, you're not supposed to have. But anything that's white potatoes, mashed potatoes, anything that's white. Basically, let's just boil it down to this. To keep it simple, if the food tastes good, you ain't supposed to eat it. So I told after about 30 minutes, they were getting ready to let us go for lunch. And I raised my hand and they called me by name. And I said, well, after listening to all this, I guess you're going to tell me that a cheeseburger, fries, and a Coke are probably not what you would consider a good lunch. And they laughed and said, no, it's not good. So yeah, less sugar. If you're type 2 diabetic like me, if you don't take care of your kidneys, you can have chronic kidney disease, weight loss, and feeling better. So I need to get better at following my diet. And if you're like me and you've been fighting weight loss or obesity for whatever reason, it can be genetic. Sometimes we gain weight because we don't exercise enough, and we gain weight because we eat too many calories. We eat more calories than we need during the day. Obviously, I am not a medical professional, so I would encourage you. The best thing that you can do is to talk to your doctor and ask them for professional guidance on what you need to do to lose weight. And part of losing weight is managing your diet. Lord knows I am no expert at that. I've gotten better over the years, and I've lost some weight, and I've lost 2 sizes of my waistband, and I feel better. I look better, and but the just because I lost 80 pounds, that doesn't mean it's over. It means that I've made a lot of progress, but not perfection, right? Progress, not perfection. So I need to lose another 50 pounds this year. That's my goal. So I have to be intentional with my diet, and I have to intentionally not consume a lot of sugar. And it is really tough because I love Coke floats, and I'm not supposed to have them. I have them anyway, but I'm not supposed to have them. I drink water. I drink more water than I used to drink. I used to drink 5 or 6 soda pops a day, and soda pops are like poison. They're just chuck loaded with sugar. So let me encourage you, if you're listening to this and you're struggling, find a support group, talk to your primary physician, do whatever you need to do to be well, to be healthy. It's not about, we shouldn't try to be healthy because we're trying to please other people. When you have a weight loss issue, you have a self-image issue, right? And so we don't like the way we look in the mirror, and we don't like the way we think that other people perceive us. And so just throw that out the window and understand that the reason that we want to be healthy and lose weight is because we want to be healthy. We want to be healthier. And it's just like stopping smoking. If you stop smoking, no matter how long you've been doing it, you add 10 years to your life. That's what the medical professionals say. If you stop smoking, and it's not impossible like losing weight, you can stop smoking. I don't care how long you've been smoking. I used to smoke. I didn't smoke for long, but I smoked Benson and Hedges Ultra Deluxe menthols, and I was in my 20s when I smoked. And I knew guys my age that they could run a marathon and still smoke. I couldn't do that. I love to play basketball. I love to run. And one day I woke up and said, I gotta do one or the other. I need to continue smoking and quit doing all these other outdoor activities that I loved, or I needed to stop smoking. Luckily, that was a good decision I made many years ago, and I want to think and believe that I did add some years to my life. So I need to get more steps in. 2025, I didn't walk as many steps as I did in 2024. 4. So that's my goals, to get more steps in. Walking. Walking is the easiest exercise that you can do. Get you some tennis shoes, some comfortable tennis shoes, some shorts, just workout clothes. You don't have to look like you just walked out of Neiman Marcus. You can get some sweatpants, t-shirts, windbreakers, a hat. We all have smartphones, right? So just listen to whatever kind of music you like to listen to and go walking and enjoy it. Get out in nature and enjoy nature while you're walking. Exercise is key. Sitting on my butt is no good. Spend more time outside. Or listen, go to the gym. If you like the gym scene and you think that's the best way that you can make a change in your life and get more exercise, just remember 90% of weight loss is what you stick in your pie hole. All right, I want to do more photography. I love photography. I want to get outside and away from screen time. Screen time, me and you. And I do a lot of nature photography. We have a lot of egrets and brown pelicans and all sorts of little critters here in South Carolina. And I've been able to take a lot of pictures of pelicans diving for food, floating above the water, flying around. But anyway, I want to do more of that in 2026. Write more stories, write about my life experiences, find more writing prompts. I'm on medium.com and Substack. You can look me up. James Moffitt, Moffitt. Be kinder to people. Treat others in a way that I would like them to treat me. I think I've already kind of covered that. Be less selfish. Be more mindful of how I treat others. Volunteer more. I do volunteer. I volunteer at church and I volunteer out in the community. And I need to do more of that. I need to do less for me and more for other people. Serve other people and use your time, talent, and resources. So what resources do we have? Obviously, we all have some time. Some of us have more time than others. Talent, everybody's got a talent of some sort. And resources. Resources as in money. Resources as in food, clothing. All of us have more crap than we need. We have more physical stuff in our houses than we need. And one of the things that I read about a lot when it comes to medium, I see a lot of stories about how people pass away and their relatives, children, wind up having to sort through all of the stuff and the stuff that we hang on to. And a lot of times they wind up having to throw that stuff out. If they can't donate it to somebody easily or to Goodwill or whatever, a lot of the stuff has to get thrown away. And sure, your loved ones can take mementos and what have you, but I don't know. I have to be honest and say that we're not rich and we don't have a lot, but I bet if I put my mind to it, I can find a lot of stuff that it's just being stored. We're not using it. And so I should donate it to Goodwill or give it to people that can use it. I don't know. First world problems, right? Let's see. Reduce screen time. I kind of talked about that a lot. Stop being manipulated by big tech. All right. So that's kind of my list. Most of these goals are obtainable. Many of them will be accomplished incrementally. Baby steps. When it comes to diet, baby steps. Cut out one thing a day. If you drink 6 or 7 soda pops a day, drink one less every day. Do that for a week. Like if you're drinking 6 soda pops this week, drink 5 next week. In the following week, drink 4. In the following week, drink 3. And we're supposed to drink 8-ounce glasses of water. Now, this is Dad old-fashioned root beer glass. I have no idea where we got that from, but it's got sugar-free, what's that called? Crystal Light. I got Crystal Light. There's no sugar in it. And it tastes better than water. And I drink water all day long. Oh, yeah. Let me show you my water bottle. I don't know how big this is. This is from Owala, Wala. Okay. But it's a water. I think it holds like 20 ounces. And I drink 4 or 5 of these in 8 hours. And it's way more than 8 ounces. So I drink way more than 8 ounce. 8? I'm trying to talk. I drink more than 8-ounce glasses of water. So baby steps, progress. It took me a while. To learn how to do that. And I actually like water now. I like water way more than I used to. And it's better for you. It's better for you. Much more better. Okay, so I've been babbling for way too long. 9 minutes. I really didn't intend to spend 39 minutes on this video, but here we are. See, I'm a storyteller. Can you tell? Can you tell that I'm a storyteller? I love stories. And so I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like, the video and subscribe to the channel and engage. Write me a note, write me a message. And I appreciate those of you that have taken the time to engage with me and write notes on my videos. I really enjoy those. And I promise you I will respond to your note at some point. So today is Tuesday. Tomorrow is hump day. Tomorrow's Wednesday. So whatever you do tomorrow, spend less screen time, spend some time outdoors, enjoy nature, have some me time, have some quality time, some quiet time. That will help you tremendously. All right. Everybody have a good night. I'll talk to you on the flip side. Bye bye.